God of
Well,
other?
I never really believed in the Trinity. I was kind of like a bit on and off.
What's the reason you never believed in the Trinity?
Because it doesn't make sense that there's one God but there's three persons. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's three gods.
There's three gods.
Yeah. And if because of especially the fact that the Father is not the Son is not the Son.
But you were born into a Trinitarian. Don't mind if these don't mind these questions. I might just probe just to understand who you are. As in, when you grow, if it doesn't bother you, Brian.
Well, I grew up around Christianity. I went to a Christian school, and then my mum married a Muslim guy, and then we went to Quran lessons a few times and stuff like that. But when I was about 11 or 12. But after that, I kind of like went to a Christian youth club as well. But again, I wasn't really into it. It never made sense to me.
The Trinity.
Yeah.
There's nothing convincing.
No.
So did you used to get into engagements with these Christians a lot? These Trinitarians, like debating. I take it then in your mind you were some kind of Unitarian or something?
I don't like to label anything.
Okay, yeah.
But I do believe that I do believe in the Father, and I believe the Father is the only true God. But I also believe that we're all part of God, in terms of we're all divine children of God.
But where would you get that belief that we're all divine children of God?
Through my own experience.
Through experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your relationship with the Bible? Is this where you grab your theology from, perhaps? Like you take your theology from the Bible?
Well, if you just read the Bible, there's nowhere that hints at the Trinity.
Yeah, I agree with you. But now I just want to know who you are. Saying, would you say you go to the Bible for your theology, and what gives maybe credence to the Bible for you, if you do?
I can go to the Bible. I can go to any scriptures, really.
What are the scriptures?
I can go to. I can read the writings of different mystics from different religions, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, anything really. Because it's not just kind of like narrowed down into one kind of thing. But I would say Jesus is my main teacher.
Yeah. Why do you think you narrowed him down alone, like your main teacher? Why do you think you do that? Is it something subconscious, culturally, or you actually selected it to be him mainly? Because where do you even get the information of Jesus? You would have to go to the Gospels, but the Gospels are so they argue it's unreliable documents, like the synoptic problem that Matthew and Luke copied from Mark.
I don't have an issue with it being
changed.
Well, not that I don't have an issue with it, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah, but then how do you know what you're getting is a historical?
I haven't read the Bible for a long time, so.
What's the reason of that?
Because I know there's too many changes in it.
So as a Christian reading the Bible, you've distanced yourself because you realise there's too many.
I read things like I read other things now, like the Gospel of Thomas and things like that.
Gospel of Thomas, yeah. Do you know about the Gospel of Thomas? It's like a sayings gospel, right?
Yeah.
And they never believe the Q source document. Do you know about the Q source document?
Yeah.
They never believed the Q source document, which is the basis of Luke and Matthew, existed, because it was only hypothetical and it was only a sayings document until they found this Gospel of Thomas. And because the Gospel of Thomas is only a sayings document, it gave credence to the idea that the Q Gospel existed.
Yeah.
And even before these two, the Gospel of Thomas and the Q source, there's something called the common saying source. Yeah, but we don't actually have much about that. You're saying so you follow like a apocryphal, but how do you determine what's truth in that?
I just basically go by. I take stuff from the main Gospels as well. But like, for example, I like to meditate on the Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
But I like to meditate on that, and because the Sermon on the Mount is just more instead of do this, do that, do this, do that, it's more of like a state of being. And I can resonate with that from my experiences that I had with that light.
But doesn't it become arbitrary? Let's say you follow or believe in something because of experiences, and I may have, if we're looking for truth or reality, now you through your arbitrary or experiences come to one conclusion. I by the same.
I've had this argument before. I'm not going into it again. This is why I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. What about Islam? What makes you say no to Islam? Have you a position on this, or?
Because I don't believe in hell.
You don't believe in hell. So what do you believe in? As in that people will just go to heaven?
No, I believe everybody has to go through a cleansing process. Depending on what you've done, the cleansing process will be longer. But I believe that after the cleansing process, everybody will go back.
Like, where do you get this cleansing process from? Like, where do you get this idea from?
Which Bible?
I got it from Kabbalah.
Okay, but I suppose what I'm saying is, what standard are you using to select this theology from that, or this aspect of theology from this, and this aspect of theology from that? Like the Gospel of Thomas, I take this idea. Kabbalah, I take this idea.
Yeah.
What's the standard you're using to say that I'll take this, I'll take that? It sounds like pick and mix almost. Could it not be? Are you not in fear of falling into that pick and mix and creating your own theology?
No, I'm not creating my own theology because I just say, all I say is, instead of thinking things in your mind, coming up with ideas and concepts in your head about things, be led by that love in your heart, which is from God.
Okay, but there's like a vague kind of thing. Like love leads people to many places, right? Different persons go to different places. So again, what's the standard? Because it becomes arbitrary. What's in your heart in terms of love differs from what's in the next person's heart because of love. So
I don't mean my love. I don't mean my love.
No,
I mean the love of God. That
yeah, I know that. No, yeah.
Hopefully, that's what I'm saying. The mystics of every faith will all come to the same conclusion about divine love and oneness.
And what's that?
That everything is in divine order.
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping us from reaching our potential is that we've come into a world where it seems like everything's separate. You know, so it's our minds telling us that we're separate when we're not.
Separate from God or each other?
From God and each other. But the reality is everything's connected. And the only thing that really matters is pure consciousness, pure love from the divine.
So God created you just for pure love, is what I'm understanding.
For pure love and a relationship with Him.
How do you have a relationship with Him?
You surrender and allow God to work with you.
But then isn't it surrendering to your desires, how you think things should be?
No, it's not. If I relied on my desires, or anybody relied on their desires, we'd be off doing weird shit.
That's what I'm saying, it's arbitrary. So it's like when you have theology and you're coming from yourself, what suits you or what resonates with you. I'll take this from Buddhism, I'll take this from Christianity, I'll take this from Islam. You conjure up your own kind of theology.
I'm not.
Like, what is the standard you're using to say this is right and that's wrong?
You should be able to tell what is love and what is love, meaning what is truth.
But what is the meaning of love? Let's start with that then.
Love is not just a feeling.
Okay.
Love is a state of being. Love is your true essence.
Okay. What is essence? And do you know what I mean? These are very vague, almost, terms we're using. It's your essence. What's essence? What is your essence? What is my essence?
Love.
But that's circular. Love is your essence. Essence is your love. You know what I'm saying? When we're saying things, but it seems like we're not examining them properly. And this is one of the problems, obviously, when you're like picking from here, picking in here. There's no critical analysis.
It's simple. It's pure unconditional love.
But what is that?
He will show me servant.
What do you mean, what is it?
As in, what is pure unconditional love?
Yeah, you're right.
You see? God put that, you're saying, in your heart. But it differs from every single person. And how does love guide you to truth?
Because love is
It can guide you to good family, maybe good people,
Love
or
is
a
true.
hobby.
Love is true.
But truth is more. 1 + 1 = 2. Love can't determine that. Right?
I'm not on about that kind of stuff.
No, but that's a truth, isn't it?
But we do things out of love. Well, we're supposed to anyway.
Yeah, but we do things for other reasons as well, not just love. That's what the truth is one of the things.
Okay, but
for example,
I'm not
theology.
on about things in this world that human beings have created.
No, that's fine. Theology. I'm talking about theology or belief systems. Yeah. To use a sentence that we're guided by God only by love, and to be able to pick and choose from different theologies, it doesn't really guide us. It's a pick and mix. What I'm saying is that there must be some kind of standard or determining factor that leads us to the truth.
Yeah, having that love in your heart. Having that love and truth in your heart. If you have that, that's pure emptiness, pure.
Okay, how did love move you from a Trinitarian to a Unitarian, for example?
Because it made me realize that God is this love. And in this love, there's no 1, 2, 3, 4 or anything. It's just pure being. It's just pure existence. There's no 1 God, 2 God, 3 God, 1 Trinity, 4. There's even the concept of 1 God is nonsense.
Why?
Because God is not a number. God is not a 1 being, 1 person.
No,
thing.
numbers are abstract things, but we use it descriptively.
Okay.
Yeah.
God is just pure love, and that's it. Pure awareness, pure being.
When you're saying this, are you talking about divine simplicity? Is that what you're talking about? God is love. Is that what you're referring to? So what does that statement, God is love? Like, for example, can you say God is powerful?
God is a spiritual force of love.
Yeah, but you don't say he's pure love. Is he not any other things like all powerful, all knowing, all seeing,
Yeah.
all hearing?
Yeah.
So what do you mean then he's all love? Like, what does that actually mean? Because like, many people say this.
Yeah.
I've never really grasped or understood it. What does it mean that God is all love? Even in the biblical sense, it doesn't make sense because he hated Jacob before Jacob had done anything.
I don't know. I don't.
So you don't follow the Bible?
I don't agree with a lot of things the Bible says.
But what's the reason, if you were just going back to your point?
Because my experience, along with a lot of people's experience, when, for example, near-death experiences, and a lot of mystical people, when you come into contact with this presence, you realize there's nothing outside of this love. Everything's connected. There's just nothing but love. There's no judgment. There's no I hate this person. There's no I hate this person.
So you don't hate anyone ever? Hate has never been an emotion that's in you?
I never said that.
No, I'm asking.
I'm a human being. I lack. Sometimes I hate. Sometimes I think to myself, you're an absolute arsehole to someone. Or I might think, I'm not perfect. But I know deep down, in every person's soul, is the divine light of God.
Okay, but what does that mean? Divine light of God is in every single person.
We are in the likeness of the Creator.
Okay, but okay. So now you said a different thing. You said the divine light of God is in with.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
His wisdom, His knowledge, His truth, His pure bliss is in everything, and that is the source of truth for every person.
Okay, so you no longer, there's no Christianity with you at all. 'Cause I thought I was speaking to a Unitarian, but now you just confused me completely. Yeah.
No, like I said, Jesus.
Like even this theology you're talking about.
Jesus is my main teacher.
But why is he your main teacher? If all you can get from him is the Bible, and you don't believe the Bible to be something which is preserved.
I believe quite a few things in the Bible.
But how do you choose what's true and what's not? That's what I'm saying.
Because the idea is that we don't just once you realize and come into encounter with the light, it's no longer about reading things in a book and believing it. It's about you gain wisdom by having divine encounters with the divine, and each experience experience you have, you grow in more knowledge and wisdom. That's how we're supposed to grow.
It sounds like nice words, but I'm just trying to define these things so it's understandable beyond yourself. You know, like it's in when we say like we're united with God through love or each other. Like, what does that mean? You know, what does it actually mean? If I love someone, then I'm connected to God. I mean, it sounds nice and everything, but I'm trying to understand this. You
We're
know?
going back to what we just went over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't really
But do you see the problem that like someone who's trying to understand your theology will have? It's like these are terms we use, but we never examine them. Like we're driven to truth by love, for example. No, sometimes we're driven by to truth because we're researching. We want to make things logical, for example, not just love.
Our own understanding of how we kind of live day-to-day basis as human beings is nothing compared to how we're supposed to live. We are supposed to...
How do you determine without a law, how do you determine how to live by yourself?
Law...
Because it's arbitrary, this is the point I'm trying to say. Maybe this is the
law,
debate.
You are the law. You are the law.
What does that mean? That's what I'm saying, you are arbitrary. You make up your law, I make up my law.
No. If you're free, you will live by the light of love that is inside of you. And you're.
But this differs in each person, so it goes back to being arbitrary again.
No. If you're really open to the truth, it doesn't. Which, like I said, forget the mainstream people of each religion. Forget the what do you call them? The fundamentalists in each religion. Forget the fundamentalists in each religion. I'm on about the mystics who are seeking after truth and who actually gain wisdom. I'm on about that. They will all say the same thing as what I'm saying. Light and love is within each person and is each person. Pure consciousness, pure awareness, pure being.
But light is different from human beings.
No, that's your essence.
Our essence is light.
Yeah.
What is essence?
Essence is just your pure.
We have as essence, we have attributes and everything, yeah? But essence doesn't exist by itself. Nor does attributes, it doesn't exist by itself. So when you say light is our essence, what does that mean?
That light is God.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? When I'm trying to define these things, yeah, I'm having a hard time to grasp that in my mind. Or even verbally.
Because Islam doesn't teach you anything.
Well, it does actually, it does. But I'm not trying to be attacked, I'm just trying to understand your point. In Islam, we know that we're made to worship. This is the purpose of our being, and there is heaven and hell afterwards. No, we believe that in Islam. Okay. Yeah. So we don't have that dilemma that we have. We believe God is just, and hence we have heaven and hell. You be good, you go to heaven. You're not good, you don't go to heaven. Yeah. So we don't. And we say we are humans. We sin. Kullu bani Adam khata. You know, every single child of Adam, he makes sins, but the best of them are the ones who return to God. So we're composed of many things. Love, we got hatred in us, we got happiness with us, sadness, all of this stuff. So it's not, Islam doesn't fail in answering these questions. We know who we are as humans. We're flesh, we're bone. Islam tells us this. We're made of also passions, like I mentioned, jealousy, hatred, all of this stuff. And we're very complex stuff.
These stuff we're talking about, we're supposed to die to. This is what you're supposed to die to, because we're supposed to put on the higher consciousness, the higher nature of God. We're supposed to get rid of these desires and passions.
Well, love is a passion. So if you're saying now get rid of it,
not about human love. We need to get rid of that human love as well. We need to put on the divine love of God.
But how do you know that's divine love of God?
What do you mean? How do I know?
How do you know what you're talking about or what you think is in you? Yeah, is a divine love of God, not divine love of yourself. It might be your love, a desire for a thing. How do you discern that this is not my love, it's God's love?
Because ultimately we come from that source. Therefore, when we come into contact with it, we know straight away what it is. We know straight away. it's not something foreign to us. So we will know straight away. We will feel like we're at home when we come into contact with this light.
So you feel like you've come in contact with God's love.
Yeah.
So, but then why do you still like hate or think this person is such and this if you've come in contact with God's love?
I'm not saying I hate people.
No, I'm not saying you are, but there are times where you hate. You mentioned before that, of course, sometimes I think this person is like X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you come in with divine love, why does that still exist in you?
Because that love needs to be slowly built up in you. That love needs to slowly grow.
And where are you getting this information from? You say the esoterics, like as in from different religions. Where do you get that idea from? Like we can determine what's truth because of love. What type of love? The love of God. Where do you get this information from?
Through the experience I had with the divine, and also I think
so it was the experience that you got informed of this.
Yeah, it's something that needs to slowly grow in you.
So couldn't a shaman say the same thing? Like he went through experience. Yeah, I don't know, one of these experiences that shaman has, botanical experience. You know shaman?
No.
Okay, let's just say someone has an experience, or let's say someone takes drugs, for example, and says he has a connection with God. How do you even investigate what he's saying is true or not?
Well, I don't think that having an experience with drugs is the same thing as...
No, but many people who take drugs always, or not always, a lot of the time, they have experiences which are divine.
Maybe.
You always hear this about DMT and
I know
everything,
a couple of people,
cannabis and everything.
I know a couple of people, when they had their experiences with the drugs, that it led them to spirituality. It let some people, I know one or two people that are
coming down to this information that you're coming with.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm saying that these people, once they come into encounter these things through maybe these drugs or whatever, one person I know, because he had the experience with the drugs, he ended up going to India for 6 years. Yeah, so he ended up going to India for 6 years.
But something can't be right. In the world, okay, you have experience, you end up in India for 6 years, like.
Yeah, learning from the teachers.
But I don't know. It's like very arbitrary.
Learning
like
from
pick and mix, yeah.
It's learning from spiritual teachers. That's why that's what their drug.
So last time I listened to you, I thought you were Christian. This is the whole for wanting this discussion, but it seems like you've left that completely. Just listening to you, it's like I've got a different person completely.
By the way, I must say, when I had my encounter with the light, I did see Jesus. Yeah, I did see him.
Yeah. So how do you know it's Jesus? This one say all of these things, like you have to question yourself, right? How do you know it's Jesus? How do you know it's not the devil? How do you know it's just an illusion? A natural high or something?
Like I said, one thing the devil cannot do to you is give you the experience of what the Bible calls the fruits of the Spirit.
So that's a biblical teaching you take?
Yeah, I told you I take things from the Bible.
Yeah, but how do you determine that is true?
From me encountering it.
Well, then it's a bit circular, isn't it?
Because
I encounter it, I believe it because the Bible says it.
We can only bear witness to the truth if we experience that light ourselves.
Anyway, last time I thought you were very like the idea of Islam. You were close to the idea of Islam because you believed in one God. You still believe in one God?
Like I said, there's no one God, two gods, three gods. There's just pure, it's a spiritual force of love. That's what it is.
But why do you define it only as love? This is what I'm trying to say. Why only
because
love?
Because in that love, everything comes out. Truth, knowledge, wisdom.
No, but it doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. Attributes are different from each other. Not, for example, the attribute of justice or mercy or all of this.
It comes out of that love.
No. Not all of it comes out. Strength. How does strength come from love?
Of course it does.
These are just attributes, and they're all different.
For example, the Bible says. The Bible says.
I'm not a Christian.
Okay. The Bible says the joy of the Lord is my strength.
Okay.
Now, why are we going to?
But there's joy, and there's strength. Where's the love? This is the point I'm saying. If you say all these attributes here, which are different, come from love, where do you get this?
They all come from the essence of love.
Okay, anyway, so you believe in God, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't say one or two, this and that, but ultimately it sounds like you're saying one. It sounds like you're saying one. Yeah,
Well,
you're not saying two, are you?
No.
You're not saying three?
No.
You're not saying more than three?
No.
So it sounds like you're saying one, whether you say it or not. Okay,
But love is not one, is
but you believe this...
But love is not one.
But,
Love is not numbers.
Well, love is different to God.
No, it's not.
So when you love someone, that is God.
No, I told you, our human kind of love
is different from the divine love.
Compared to the divine love.
Yeah.
Our human love is a tiny little ant compared to what.
So when you have love in your heart, God's divine one, I have God's divine one, that's the same God?
If we have God's divine love.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying, you reduce God as a creator who created you, who's merciful, all that, to a feeling you have in your heart.
No, it's not. I told you.
Is he a creator?
But you haven't been listening.
But I have been listening.
No, you haven't, because if you've been listening, you wouldn't have just said, I've reduced God to a feeling.
You just say God is love. Love is a feeling, right?
Look, not the human love. You're on about human
Okay,
love.
well, explain to me what is this divine love?
The divine love is pure awareness.
Is it a feeling?
Pure awareness, pure consciousness, pure being.
Okay.
Just being. You know being?
Yeah.
Just pure being, and that in that being, everything comes out. Everything comes out of it. Life, love, truth, wisdom, knowledge, everything. Everything comes out of that.
But explain. I know you're saying it, but explain it. It seems like we're going round and round in this.
Well, that's because you're taking me round in circles.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, I thought you were Unitarian. I have to probably close it there. Then it seems like you've completely different.
No, I wouldn't say I'm a Unitarian, because that means that's still putting labels on.
Yeah.
You're still putting labels on things. I don't want to put labels on.
So maybe next time, and I think we've spoken so much, just trying to figure out what it is. Maybe next time we'll speak about Islam. What is you have that you say no to Islam? Yeah.
All right,
Chris. Yes, someone's like, I don't know. Get stuck with this all the time.